Ron DeSantis is, according to reports, looking to make some moves when it comes to the presidential race. They say that he is about to jump into it in mid-May or so. Different reports say different times, but everyone seems to think, according to at least 4 different operatives in the Republican Party, that he is going to be jumping in mid-May. One of the sources said that it would be an exploratory committee with the official launch coming soon after. And to that I say, what is the game that we're playing at this point? What are you talking about? We already know that you've been thinking about running for years. You already basically are running. You're giving stump speeches. You're going to swing states. You're attacking Goofy and Donald Duck to try to become more popular. We know that you're running already. So now you're gonna do an announcement to do an exploratory committee, I guess, to see how much additional fire from the Republicans you take as a result of that before finally diving in. This is all pointless and drawn out, but also deeply, deeply cowardly. If you want to be president, just announce that you're going to be president. And if you have confidence that you can be president, then it is even more embarrassing that Florida actually went through with, I don't think it's finalized, but they passed another phase of it, allowing him to run for president without having to abdicate the throne of the governorship, which is of course a thing they'll do for him, but it is just a deeply embarrassing way to go about it because it shows how little confidence you have that you'll actually be the nominee, let alone the president. What do you think?
I get it. I get the spirit of what you're saying, but materially, a lot of those rhetorical questions have answers. So an exploratory committee is a shell corporation that you essentially set up, and you don't have to declare as many of the details of where your money comes from in that portion of the candidacy as you will when you eventually do become an official candidate for president. So this is an opportunity for him to kind of more officially put his toe in the waters, indemnify himself from any legal culpability that comes with weird campaign finance moves, and then just see for a while. Another answer to that question is, it becomes a realer. And in, I don't know, it's like the people who there's a birthday and you want to celebrate the birthday and your schedule is busy, but they're like, we've got a birthday month, and they have a bunch of stuff to keep you excited and entertained about their birthday month. And they're horrible and terrible. That's kind of it. And then there's the opportunity that he will fall so far behind that he won't actually declare, which has happened previously in history. There have been multiple people, Ev Bai is one of them, where they just we're like, I'll form an exploratory committee with full confidence that they will run for president. And then it just kind of fizzled because there was no way in hell. And what's hilarious, and I think this is a strategic attempt. The timing is the fact that this would happen was always, in my opinion, a given. But the timing of it happening is he was doing kind of well for a while before Trump started fighting him, and he hasn't really done anything material to fight back except for maybe like this wishy-washiness about extradition if they ever like cooperation if Trump was actually be indicted. But hilariously, this is gonna be an attempt with a potential, like maybe I won't do it for a bunch of other reasons. I'll cite my wife's health or something like that, for him to jump out of the race and see if fighting back even a little bit, even in spirit, works, which I can't imagine it doing because Trump is just going to pummel him. And Ron DeSantis is such a wiener beanie baby of a man that he just will not stand up to Trump. In the actual brass ring, people want him to be so good, so bad, but he's not that good a candidate.
Yeah, I think, look, anything can happen. I've been wrong with predictions before. I think we're all aware of that, but it really does seem like we already know enough. Trump, I don't even think is throwing his full weight against DeSantis, and DeSantis is crumbling under it. I don't think that DeSantis has like a counter punch in him in terms of the Constitution. He's just gonna stare awkwardly at the camera and then try to switch the conversation to being about Mickey Mouse or something. And so it really does feel like
he can't even beat a cartoon.
Yeah, he can't beat a whistling mouse. So since you are either not gonna run in the end or you're just gonna get whooped, then just like why are you dragging it out and making yourself look bad? Since you're gonna run screaming into the woods to get away from Donald Trump's vicious assault, just start running now. Like the longer you drag it out, the more it's clear that you really did want to fight him, but you just couldn't do it. So I mean, look, maybe there are maybe there are incentives financially. Maybe he can raise a bunch of money or something and then not have to run, and then it's still around for the next time he runs or for something else. I mean, maybe there are financial reasons to pretend to be running, or maybe he just is so ambitious and or stupid that he's going to do it. I tune in to find out, I guess. By the way, if we could jump briefly to one or two things. Graphic 6, Donald Trump is apparently listening to insiders who are urging him to make DeSantis his VP pick, which maybe DeSantis would be okay with that. I don't think either of them would be okay with that. I don't think that Trump wants someone who is so ambitious one step below him. I think he doesn't even want someone as ambitious as Mike Pence, and Mike Pence still won't criticize the guy after he almost got him killed. And I don't think that DeSantis would want it either. He'd like to be on the national level. He'd like to be in the White House, but I have to imagine not like these. Not like these. What do you think, Brett?
I don't know. The conventional wisdom is you never pick someone below you that, especially if you're Trump. I wouldn't think that he would pick someone below him that anyone could see as president, because Trump is so easily triggered. But in terms of listening to people, he does listen to folks, and those folks have had so much time to learn Trump speak to kind of teach Trump how politics works. That they might get him to think that it's a big win, and essentially he's like, cucking DeSantis by making him his vice president. But typically, it would only make sense if Trump needed DeSantis in some way to get out of the race against him, and that would imply that Trump is not confident he can clean the floor with DeSantis. Which, as the polls come in, and DeSantis is down, according to some of your graphics, by 37 points.
Yeah, we can put up that last.
There's no reason. There's no reason. What is he going to unify the party? He already did.
Yeah.
And he already proved that people like Lindsey Graham will say, he's a reprobate. I hate Donald Trump, until Donald Trump wins a race, and then they're going to come back into the fold willingly anyway.
Yeah, and it's entirely possible that leading up to this, he might have been worried about Ron DeSantis. Back last November, December, whatever. He'd had all those endorsements that didn't go well. Like DeSantis was beloved, but and we don't know. Maybe DeSantis has a secret weapon or whatever. He clearly doesn't.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.